Hey, have you ever fallen on your tailbone and then begun to have back pain and you've never really solved that problem? You're still dealing with back problems and you think that it might be connected to that time that you fell on your tailbone? Well, in today's video, I'm going to explain why that is. There's a real reason that the tailbone can be causing your back pain problem. My name is Dr. David Minoff, and I'm a specialist physical therapist at El Paso Manual Physical Therapy. We help people stay healthy, active, and mobile while avoiding an unnecessary surgery, injections, and pain medications. Please subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on any of the helpful videos that we post every single week where we teach about the body and we teach exercises and ways to improve your health. Let's get on to this. So let's go over some quick anatomy first. Here you've got the tailbone. It's called the sacrum, and connected to it down here is the coccyx. The purpose of the tailbone is multiple things. The biggest ones is to connect the pelvis bones together. So these bones out here are the pelvis bones, which form the hip joints out here. Those pelvis bones connect on the front right in here. And the sacrum here is the base of the rest of the spine moving up. So here you can see the bottommost disc. Here's L5, L4, 3, 2, 1. L5 has a disc under it, and that disc sits right on top of the sacrum, or we call it S1. And the sacrum is basically a bunch of vertebrae fused together. That's why you have bumps on it and nerves, just like you have up here in the spine. Now, if you've ever fallen on your tailbone, if you've fallen on your butt basically and hit this part of your tailbone, it is possible for this bone to shift sideways or rotate, or a combination of sideways and rotation. Some people have had fractures to the area where they've fractured their coccyx bone here. They even injured the joint because there's a little bit of flexibility between the sacrum and the coccyx right here. This can deviate to the sides, or this whole thing can deviate to the sides. When the sacrum itself shifts over to the side, it shifts the foundation for the rest of the spine moving up, especially at that joint immediately above it. So here in physical therapy at El Paso Manual Physical Therapy, we have techniques to be able to detect if this sacrum, if this tailbone here is shifted over to one edge. We feel the edges out here, and then the base is up here. We can feel if it's shifted this way or this way, if it's rotated. If that's the case, then we're looking at stuck joints in the area where the sacrum connects to the pelvis bones on the side, and we have techniques to free those up, and there's exercises to make sure that this stays mobile so that it's not staying stuck. Now, when people have a shifted tailbone, not only will they have pain kind of in the low back, almost the butt area, but it'll tend to be on one side. And the most common way that people come in and present to it, so you might have this experience yourself, is they'll say this. They'll say, well, my back, it's not really my back, it kind of is my back, it's more down here, and it's more on one side, almost at the top of the butt, right in here. They're pointing to this joint that's right here. That's the same spot right here. The tailbone is right here on myself. It's like an upside down triangle. So these edges are the edges of that tailbone, of that sacrum. So if there's a shift, then it can tension the ligaments back there. It can tension the muscles. It can pinch the sciatic nerve, which pops out right here. There's so many things that could happen that can cause hip pain and, of course, back pain. The main reason that people have back pain from a shifted tailbone, if it's been there for a while, the base of the sacrum right here where it connects to that disc will shift over, and then it starts to add compression to the disc. And if you move like that and live like that, the muscles then adapt, and they can cause a lot of harmful forces through this disc and cause herniations there. That disc right there, we call it the L5S1 disc, is the most commonly injured disc, hands down. The next one is the one right above. This is the second most commonly injured disc here, L4, L5 disc. But I personally find, this is not in the research, this is just from personal experience as a manual therapist, as kind of an expert in the field, that most back problems, whenever people have a disc herniation down here, or some L4, L5 problem, most back problems in this region and disc problems have a sacral component that isn't being addressed. This is why, if you've ever been to physical therapy or chiropractic and the sacrum wasn't addressed, you might still have some lingering back pain. Maybe it got a little bit better, or maybe if you had an injection. That's another big one. People get an injection at the herniated disc level or wherever they have a pinched nerve, and they'll get some relief, but it's not all the way gone. And if you've had that experience and your pain's lower down in the edge over here, even all the way near the where the butt crack is right here, the gluteal cleft is a scientific name, just off to the side of it, that is your SI joint. And if you hurt there, you've got an SI joint problem, a sacroiliac joint problem, which means you have a sacrum problem, and that needs to be addressed. As far as exercises for this, there are some exercises out there. It really requires hands-on work, and I'm sorry I don't have any exercise to show you on this video to fix a shifted sacrum, but my best recommendation for you is to go find a specialist in your area who's a manual therapist ideally, or maybe you might find a chiropractor that's good at dealing with this stuff. Some chiropractors actually are. And find somebody who can identify the problem first. If they can't identify it, they're not going to be able to treat it. If they can at least identify it, then you have a good shot at getting this problem addressed so that you can completely resolve your back pain. It is not normal to have back pain as you age. Some people just resolve that. They just think, well, I'm in my 50s or 60s now. I've been dealing with back pain. It got mostly better going to physical therapy or whatever treatment I did. Still there, maybe one or two. You should feel fantastic. You should feel like you're 25 again when it comes to your back and tailbone area. This should all feel fantastic here. There are some exercises to maintain the stability of things once we get it shifted in the right position. And for that, we fall back to our usual weak muscles whenever there's muscle imbalances here. So glute muscles are the big one. The glute muscles come in and attach right over that SI joint in there and onto the sacrum itself and along the edge of this pelvis bone here. It's the iliac. So the glute muscles are the number one muscles in bringing stability to this area. A close second are abdominal muscles, because abdominals attached to the rim of this bone, this pelvis bone, and they can help to maintain normal mobility in the SI joint. There's some other deeper glute muscles that attach in the area that also need to be strong in order to provide the best stability. So being able to get great glute activation and having decent to great abdominal strength is necessary in order to keep your SI joints healthy. If your SI joints are chronically stuck, it's possible to get arthritis in this joint, and it's already a stiff joint naturally compared to other joints in the spine, but you should have a little bit of wiggle in this joint in order to properly live and do your everyday things, exercise. Otherwise you'll feel it. You feel that back pain that comes on. There is a surgery out there where they do an SI joint fusion, and it's not the best procedure out there. I wouldn't recommend getting it if you haven't found somebody that can address the sacral position and move this SI joint. Then I would pursue that first before going to go get some surgery to fuse your SI joint. And just a side note on that, SI joints need to move. There's a belief in, there's a school of thought. Some people in the medical field believe that SI joints should not move because of how stiff the joint is. They compare it to the joints in the skull. These joints are almost fused, but it is possible to see some movement in the SI joint. That's why the sacrum can shift. And there isn't good research out there that shows that we can find it. But if you look at the flaws in the research study, they aren't people that are very experienced in finding it. So that's kind of a, it takes the carpet out from under them in their belief that they can't feel the SI joint movement and the SI joint position. It's because they're not experienced enough. They haven't gone through the training and they haven't gotten the reps necessary to feel this. Here at El Paso Manual Physical Therapy, we're finding this problem on so many people with back problems, and we're correcting it and fully resolving their back pain so they're not dealing with any back pain whatsoever as long as they don't have any arthritis that is severe. If you've got any comments or questions, please drop them below. And if this video was helpful for you, give us a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the helpful videos that we put up every single week. Have a wonderful day, friends. Bye-bye.